everybody. My name is A.J. Bernard. I'm the pastor at Frankfort United Methodist Church, and I was recently in a discussion on Facebook about how Christians and Muslims worship the same God, and I wanted to sort of put that to rest. The name of God in Islam is Allah. Now, most people will say that Allah simply comes to mean God, and that it's a generic word for God, but that's not right. The Arabic word for God is Illah. The use of Allah has come into practice over the last 1400 years because Muslims have been using Allah for God and saying, well, it just means God. So people have sort of accepted it. It's the prevailing idea in a community or a culture or a region. And so words change over time. But what doesn't change is the way you become a Muslim. And this is telling. If you want proof that Allah is a specific name and that Illah is the name or the word for God, generic God, you need look no further than the Shahaddah. Let's look just briefly at the Hebrew, because Hebrew and Arabic are sister languages. The Hebrew for God is Eloah, and that's the singular version of Elohim. Moses uses that in a verse in Deuteronomy, a couple verses in Deuteronomy, El and Eloah and Elohim, 5 times in very close succession. Twice he means the God of Israel, and the other 3 times he means the pagan gods of the region. So Eloah in Hebrew is the generic word for God. If we had a Thor comic book, right, one of those Marvel comics with the hammer and the lightning and Chris Hemsworth, he would be the Eloah of thunder, right? It's a comic book, right? Just the generic God type figure. In Arabic, the Hebrew Eloah becomes Illah, which means the generic form of God. And we see that here in the Shahaddah, which you can see on your screen. The Shahaddah, and this comes from religionfacts.com. The Shahaddah is La ilaha illallah wa Muhammadan Rasulallah. And that's the Arab. That's how you become a Muslim. Now, I didn't just become a Muslim because you have to say it with intent. You have to intend to become a Muslim and then profess that. And you have to say it in Arabic because the Muslim God doesn't speak English or something. I don't know. But the proof that we need is right here in the Shahaddah. You can see it on your screen. So I'm not going to change anything. I'm not even going to use my mouse to point to something. I'm just going to let you look. The word la means no, right? No. La ilaha, no God. Illa Allah, but Allah. There is no God except Allah. If it was, there is no God but God, why would it say a name? Why wouldn't it say La ilaha illa ilaha, right? Why wouldn't it say there is no God but God? It doesn't. It says, there is no God except Allah. Now, at the beginning of his ministry, Muhammad went into the Kaaba. Or not at the beginning. At some point in his ministry, Muhammad goes into the Kaaba, this cubic building in Mecca that you can still see today. Muslims go there. They make their pilgrimage. They walk around 7 times. They bow down and pray to the stone, the black stone idol in the wall, because they just love idols. It's not an idol, you say. They kiss it. They bow down before it. They kiss it. They give this black stone adoration. In fact, one of the companions of the prophet said, he was speaking to the black stone, and he said, I would not kiss you except that I saw the prophet kiss you. He recognizes that the black stone is an idol, and he recognizes that the way they're treating it is idol worship. But he saw Muhammad do it, and so he thinks that it's okay. It's not, right? And every Muslim bows down to that idol 5 times a day. They make sure they face it wherever they are in the world. They bow down to that idol, and when they go there, they kiss it and they give it worship. They give it obedience. So the black stone is the idol. That's the god of Islam. But Muhammad goes into the Kaaba, and there are 360 different gods in there, little idols, little statues of clay or whatever. And Muhammad famously smashes all but one of those idols. Now, every Muslim knows this story. Every Muslim knows this story is true. Muhammad does not choose a God who cannot be represented. Muhammad does not choose a God who is beyond and above. Christians and Jews do not make images of God. We have images of Christ, but we should not, heavens no, we should not make images of God, because he cannot be represented and he cannot be limited in his scope or his majesty. But Muhammad goes into the Kaaba and he smashes all of the idols except one of them. And he says, this idol, this one, is now the monotheistic God. He chooses an idol for his people to worship. Do you see? Do you see? Islam is idol worship. It always has been. They're still worshiping the same idol that Muhammad chose not to smash. And why did he choose not to smash that one? Because that one was the idol of his tribe, the Quraysh tribe. And its name was Allah. So, the question returns. Do Christians and Muslims worship the same God? No, dearly beloved of God, they do not. Muslims worship an idol, and Christians worship the God who cannot be represented. Peace of Christ to you.